wanna have a good time with me, and you wonder.
So I don't know about you guys, but when I'm cooking dinner, I'm not trying to be in the kitchen for too long. I want something quick, simple, and easy. So I have these pre-made chickenless mandarin orange chicken bites from Trader Joe's. And when I say it was bussin', it was bussin'. Then I wanted some type of green on the side, so I'm just gonna roast some broccoli that's gonna go bad anyways. And if you know me, I'm a Latina and I love my plátanos. So we're gonna have some fried plantains on the side, and then I'm gonna do a quick little quinoa. So when I cook dinner, I like to start off with the things that are going to take the longest. So I'm going to make the quinoa, which is kind of similar to rice, but it's not. It's way healthier and it has a different texture. If you haven't tried it, definitely would recommend. Everything is going to be down below as far as ingredients and full description. So I'm not going to lie, when I'm cooking, I'm just in the zone. I kind of don't measure anything. I let the Lord help guide me. And, I just do what I do, especially since this was dinner for me and my family. I didn't really have like a set recipe, but if you guys are interested in the ingredients that I use or anything like that, check in the description below so you can see exactly what it is, and then maybe try to recreate something like that on your own. When I'm cooking, I always try to cook whatever's going to take the longest first. That way everything can kind of match up as far as like being ready. So the quinoa is going to go in, and then I'm going to do my broccoli so I can roast it in the oven. And I just don't like boiled broccoli. So I like to roast my broccoli with a little bit of seasoning, and it has a little bit of bite. So just some advice for someone who does not like broccoli, because maybe you're just having it the wrong way. So my biggest thing is just making sure that my food is well seasoned, and that includes the veggies as well, especially when I'm introducing this lifestyle and lots of different foods to other people. I like to make sure that the first time they're having it is seasoned or with flavor and love, because like any other side or any other main course, the more attention you give it and the more flavor you put into something, the more delicious it's going to be, and vegetables are included. So just a little piece of advice for somebody trying to get into eating more vegetables. And also, obviously, having them in the raw form uncooked is the best way to digest them. But if you want to try something new, that could be like your way of starting. So a lot of people question what vegan meat is. And to be honest, there isn't just one answer, because there are many ingredients and many different bases that can make variants of meats. But a popular choice is either a soy-based or pea protein-based, or in some form of plant protein. They were soy-based and actually had a decent texture and flavor. And I know a lot of people question, like, if you're vegan, why do you want to eat stuff that tastes like meat? And it's not that I want to eat the meat, because I'm making a conscious decision to do better for myself and my body and the animals. It's just like, if I can essentially have things that everyone else eats, but it's plant-based version and still tastes exactly the same, it's like, why not? Why not go that extra step, to make myself happy, my body happy, and the animals happy? There are literally so many tests and so many results showing you the proof about how illness and disease are linked to meat and dairy and animal products. After a while, you kind of start questioning, like, why am I eating this? Why am I eating this and expecting myself to get better or be better, because you are what you eat at the end of the day. But now we're getting a little too deep, so let me bring it back. So I thought adding some veggies would add to the chicken, so I am just roughly chopping up some onion, garlic, and mushrooms, and then I'm gonna saute everything. When I add it in the pan, I like to do my onions first so they can sweat out and caramelize, and then add in my mushrooms, because baby bellas contain a lot of water, so I definitely want this to sweat out before I add it back into the sauce and the chicken. So this video is obviously a little different because it's not a step-by-step recipe per se, but it definitely still shows you a little bit of what I like to use and how I cook and what I'm eating. And that's exactly why I started this channel, just so you guys can get a little bit of the inside scoop about what it's really like being plant-based, and just a little, changes that I make that make big differences in my lifestyle. I definitely didn't grow up being vegan, and I didn't continue this journey all in one night. You know, it had to happen little by little, but it also was the amount of effort that I put in and the change of mindset, because we are fed a lot of false things that, you know, are not necessarily true, but we just follow tradition and we follow what other people say is healthy, and we don't do our own research. So all I'm trying to say is really think twice about what you're putting in your body and ask yourself, like, is this gonna help me? Is this gonna bring me to that next level? Is this gonna make my body perform at the best rate and function possible? And, you know, depending on what you answer will determine on what you should be doing. So this is why recipes like this are still important as well, because yeah, this is, you know, vegan processed product that I'm eating right now, but this is also to show the people who are in the transitioning phase or the people who are just getting into it, you know, hey, you can try this. It will still give you the same satisfaction, but it actually comes from plants. And then, you know, when you're more comfortable and you're like trying new things, then you can start to challenge yourself. Maybe you'll start to eat more raw foods, or maybe you'll start to eat less processed foods and eat a lot of whole foods. So even items like this are still important because they help people who are in that transitioning phase. You know, it helps comfort them. It helps show them that, like, hey, these are similar flavors and similar textures that I remember, you know, but now it's plant-based. And then eventually, like I said, you'll get to that point where, you know, you want to have fresh fruits and vegetables in your life, and you're more adventurous and you'll try new things. Definitely hope this helps push you to, like, you know, still do what you want, but at the end of the day, figure out what's right for you, and don't put that much pressure on yourself to have all the answers in one night. And I don't even mean to be preaching, y'all, because I'm going off right now, but this is just something that I'm very passionate about, and I just want to help everybody as much as I can in my own way, you know? But anyways, let's get back to the recipe. This is what the chicken looked like with the veggies and the sauce, and I sauteed it in the pan until it was like a nice golden color. But I knew I wanted more of a bite, so I decided to throw it back in the oven at 400 for another 15 minutes or so, just until it was a little bit darker in color. So because I'm throwing the chicken in with the sauce, I knew that the oven would dry it up a little bit, and I definitely wanted the chicken to be saucy. So I decided to throw together a quick little sauce, and this is everything that I used. The highlight of it for me was using fresh orange juice, because the packet already came with an orange mandarin sauce. So I wanted to keep the same theme going as far as making my own. So I definitely just threw all the ingredients in the pan and kind of tasted and seasoned as I went. And I also used teriyaki and barbecue sauce as my main base, just to help thicken up the sauce. And because there was so much sweetness coming from the orange juice, the date syrup, and the brown sugar, I also made sure to add enough salt and to make sure that it had a little bit of heat so that it balanced out all the sweetness. So this was more of the color and the texture I was looking for when it came out the oven. It was so good, y'all. I wish y'all could taste it through the screen, because it was salty, it was sweet, it had a little bit of heat. It was giving. So the quinoa is basically done, but for the last 5 minutes, I like to just fluff it up and then cover it. That way it can steam and just be light and fluffy, which is what we want with our quinoa. So it's not a complete meal if there's no plátano on the plate, so I definitely made some tostones to go on the side. And this was just really simple and quick. Just cut them up, fried them, and then once they were kind of like halfway done, squished them down and then fried them again until they were nice and crispy and delicious. So I don't know about you guys, but I can't pick what's my favorite. It literally depends on my mood, but I love tostones and I love maduros just the same. I literally can't pick. That's like asking me if I want a brownie or if I want a brownie, because I just love them. So let me know, what team are you? Are you team maduro or team tostones? Let me know in the comments. So once I finished frying the tostones, I moved my attention to the chicken, where I grabbed from the stovetop, which we just roasted, and then I'm putting them into the sauce that we made, just so I can make sure that everything is well coated, that it's nice and gooey and saturated in sauce, because that's how I like my Asian chicken. Once I finished the chicken, everything was done and it was time to plate. I just want to show you guys everything on its own. I have the plátanos, I have our chicken, the roasted broccoli, and then our quinoa. And all these flavors just worked really good together. And the best part about this recipe is that it is very simple, nothing too complicated, and does not take long. But anyways, that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. Like I said, everything is down below if you want to check that out. And stay tuned for next week's video, because the recipes are just going to keep on coming. So thank you guys, and I'll see you next week.